Hey folks, Justice for the Real Whites here. In this video I want to talk about how relationships can be a risk. You know, everyone in life, I'm sure, wants a relationship with a partner, somebody, including myself. I would want to get with a girl one day and eventually have a family, But the thing is, being in a relationship can be risky for a few reasons. One, you have to please your woman. You have to do everything she says. You have to answer her calls at specific times. You have to text her at specific times. You have to make her happy a lot. But yet, most women in a relationship, if it's a man and a woman, well, maybe not all, but most, they don't seem to care about what the man wants. They don't text a man or phone him when he pleases. A relationship is always one-sided. And even if relationships, are successful, there's always, a seed of doubt, that a relationship will last, Now, in some rare instances, they may last, if you eventually find, the right partner. Yeah, they maybe will last when you're up to about 8 years old or however long you live. But, some people, when they find somebody, they break up at 50. And others, they break up even sooner, like at 30. Or hell, relationships, some people might even get into a relationship and they wouldn't even last like a year. They would last maybe only a few months. They'll move on to the next person, So that's what I mean by relationships can be risky, Because you have to ask yourself, well, is being with this person really worth it? Because they can turn on me within a heartbeat. Or they can, exclude me out within an instance, Really, ask yourself this, guys. Is a relationship really worth it? Now, I might sound hypocritical for saying this, because eventually one day I would want to find, the right dance partner and, be in a relationship with somebody and, have a family in the future. But you really got to ask yourself, and here's another thing too, even if you do find the right people in your life, girls are selective and picky about what they want to see in a guy. They'll be like, oh, a guy must be rich, he must be able to have a house of his own, he must be able to have a car of his own, he can't be autistic, he can't be epileptic, he can't have any disabilities, he must be able to walk, he must be able to talk properly, They've got all these demands, and it's very rare you would find a lady that would just accept you for who you are, Maybe a small percentage of people out there, like of girls, might accept you for who you are. Like that maybe if a girl's autistic herself, she might date someone who's autistic themselves. But more likely or not, if you're in a relationship, she'll have all these demands and all these, things she'll be saying that, oh, you've got to have, or else I wouldn't date you, I also think about this too, guys, if you really go out and, want to have a relationship with a girl or somebody, you gotta think too, well, is she really interested in me? Because she could just be using me for money, Never ever date somebody who's just gonna be using you for money, guys. That's one of the biggest red flags you can have in a woman. Unless, of course, you're about that life and maybe you're not too phased by it. But I'm just talking for the normal Joes and Moes out there. If you're wanting just like a woman in your life that's going to care about you, never date her. She's just going to use you for money, Now, I've never been in a relationship myself, but judging from what I've seen online and just in real life from other people's point of views, I can tell relationships can be risky, And I know I said already I would love to get into a relationship one day, but I do have that other seed in the back of my mind saying, is it really worth it though? Because when you're in a relationship, it's hard to do what you really want to do, because when you're single, you can go out wherever you want, you don't have to answer to anybody, you can do what you like, you can do all sorts of things you want, you know, without having to answer to a woman, you know. And I'm not trying to make this video as a knock on women, or, you know, trying to be chauvinistic or anything like that. That's not the intention of this video. This is just a video about how getting into a relationship with a partner can be risky, you know. I mean, but in a way, you sort of have to get into a relationship with somebody, because if you want the generational cycle to continue and you want to have kids, you have to get into a relationship with somebody, because females are the only ones that can produce babies. Men can't do that. And I'm sorry to anybody who believes in this crap, but there's no such thing as trans people. Go ahead, bash me in the comments, I don't care. I'll just block you anyways. I don't believe in transgenderism. I either believe you're either a man or a woman. That's it. You're either born with a penis or you're born with a fanny. There's no such thing as trans people. You're either a female or you're male. That's it. There's only two genders, guys. Don't believe anything, you know, the trans community or whatever they call themselves push on you. That's a load of rubbish. But anyway, that's besides the point. Maybe I could do a rant video on that sometime in the future, you know. But anyway, yeah, the point of this video is just, if you are going to be in a relationship with somebody, just be cautious. Keep them at an arm's distance first, and then if you feel like it's going well, maybe get closer to them, you know. But the sad thing about a lot of relationships is a lot of girls will choose the mean, nasty guys over the nice, kind-hearted, caring guys, you know, the ones that will give them presents. They would much prefer the ones that treat them like crap. And what I can't understand is they moan and cry and bitch when these guys dump them, or, you know, they like shame them or whatnot. I don't understand some people's choice in relationships. I really don't, guys, you know. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. This is just a quick video of me saying that, you know, relationships can be risky. You know, just if you are going to be committed to a relationship, just watch in the case they turn on you, guys. That's all I'm saying. Alright, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, leave your comments down below, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and I'll speak to you another time. Peace.